If you're noticing unusual behavior in your dog, it might be a sign they're afraid of you. But how can you tell? In this video, we'll explore 12 clear signs that your dog may be scared of you, and some of them might surprise you. Stick around because sign number 5 is very common, but most people don't notice it. Understanding these signs will help you build a stronger bond with your furry friend. 1. Avoiding eye contact. Avoiding eye contact is one of the earliest signs that your dog is uncomfortable or scared. In the animal world, especially for dogs, eye contact can be perceived as a challenge or a sign of dominance. When two dogs meet, the one that holds eye contact longer is usually asserting dominance, while the one that looks away is submitting or indicating they don't want confrontation. In your relationship with your dog, avoiding eye contact could mean your dog views you as intimidating or threatening. They may avert their gaze as a way to communicate their submission or fear. If your dog avoids your gaze consistently, it's important to ask yourself if something happened to cause this reaction. Did they have a negative experience that they associate with you? Maybe a punishment or scolding left a lasting impression on them. Dogs have excellent memories when it comes to emotional events, so something that upset them in the past could be the cause of their current behavior. Another reason could be general anxiety. Dogs that are naturally anxious may avoid eye contact as part of their personality. If your dog has always been shy or hesitant, they may simply need extra reassurance and gentle bonding time. It's important not to force eye contact, as this could make the situation worse. Instead, try to offer a safe space and engage in activities your dog enjoys. This will help them feel more comfortable and gradually build trust. 2. Cowering or hiding. When a dog feels threatened or scared, their natural instinct is to hide or lower their body to make themselves appear smaller. This behavior is known as cowering. If your dog cowers when you approach them, it could mean they are afraid of you or something in their environment. Cowering or hiding is a very primal behavior rooted in survival instincts. In the wild, animals that are in danger will often hide to avoid predators. Even domesticated dogs retain this instinct, so when they feel scared, their immediate reaction may be to seek shelter or make themselves as invisible as possible. If your dog cowers or runs to hide under the couch or bed when you enter a room, it's a strong indication that they're not feeling safe. This behavior can stem from various causes. Some dogs may have had negative experiences in the past, such as being mistreated or punished harshly. Even a loud voice or sudden movements can trigger fear responses in dogs. It's essential to create a calm and positive environment for your dog, offering comfort and security rather than fear. Using a soft voice, slow movements, and rewarding positive interactions can help your dog feel more comfortable around you. 3. Yawning or licking lips excessively. Yawning and licking lips are often mistaken for simple physical actions, but in dogs, these behaviors can indicate much more. Both yawning and lip licking are subtle signs that your dog is feeling stressed or uncomfortable. These behaviors are known as calming signals in the world of canine body language. Dogs use them to calm themselves down in stressful situations or to show others that they are not a threat. Excessive yawning, in particular, is a sign of anxiety in dogs. If your dog yawns repeatedly, especially in situations where they shouldn't be tired, they may be feeling overwhelmed. Lip licking is another sign of stress, often seen in dogs that are trying to pacify themselves or others. It's a way for them to release nervous energy and attempt to calm down. If your dog yawns or licks their lips when you're around, it's important to assess the situation. Are you speaking loudly, moving too quickly, or doing something that might make your dog anxious? These calming signals are your dog's way of telling you they're uncomfortable, and it's a chance for you to adjust your behavior to help them feel more at ease. 4. Trembling or shaking. Trembling or shaking is one of the more obvious signs that a dog is scared or anxious. If your dog starts trembling when you approach or during certain situations, it's likely that they are feeling overwhelmed or frightened. Dogs shake when they're scared as a physiological response to stress. Just like humans might get the shakes during a nervous moment, dogs also have physical reactions to fear. This behavior is often seen in small or nervous breeds, but it can occur in any dog. Trembling can happen for various reasons. Loud noises, unfamiliar people, or even changes in the environment can trigger this reaction. If your dog trembles or shakes when you're near, it's crucial to figure out what might be causing their fear. Some dogs are more sensitive to changes in tone or volume, so raising your voice or making sudden movements can be enough to cause them to tremble. Other dogs might have experienced trauma in the past, such as being in a shelter or having gone through a frightening situation, and they are now extra sensitive to any kind of stress. 5. Sudden aggression or growling. Aggression is a common response in dogs when they're feeling scared. If your normally calm dog starts growling, barking, or showing their teeth when you're around, it's often because they're acting out of fear. Dogs use aggression as a defense mechanism when they feel cornered or threatened. Growling is their way of saying, "I'm scared, please back off." It's essential not to punish or scold a dog for growling, as this is their way of communicating their fear. Punishing them for growling can actually escalate the situation, making them more fearful and increasing the likelihood of aggression in the future. To handle aggression or growling, it's important to identify the cause of their fear. Are they reacting to something specific, like being touched in a certain way, or being approached too quickly? Understanding the trigger will help you take steps to remove the cause of their fear. 6. Avoiding touch or flinching. If your dog flinches or pulls away when you try to pet them, it's a clear sign that they're uncomfortable or scared. This is especially true if your dog used to enjoy being petted but now avoids your touch. Dogs that are fearful of physical contact may have had a negative experience in the past, such as being hit or roughly handled, which causes them to associate touch with something painful or frightening. Flinching when you raise your hand or move toward them is a common reaction in dogs that have been mistreated. Even if you've never hurt your dog, they may still have a lingering fear of being touched because of something that happened before they came into your care. To help your dog overcome their fear of touch, it's important to move slowly and allow them to approach you on their own terms. Don't force petting or physical contact, as this can make them more anxious. Instead, offer treats and positive reinforcement when they come close or allow you to pet them. Over time, they'll learn that your touch is safe and enjoyable. 7. Excessive panting. Panting is a natural way for dogs to cool themselves down, but excessive panting can be a sign of stress or fear. If your dog is panting heavily when they haven't been active or in a warm environment, it could be a response to anxiety. Dogs pant to regulate their body temperature, but they also pant when they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. If your dog starts panting excessively when you're around, it's a sign that they're anxious about something. This could be due to a past experience, a loud environment, or even the way you're interacting with them. To help your dog feel more at ease, try creating a calm and quiet environment. Avoid loud noises or sudden movements, and speak in a soothing tone. If your dog continues to pant excessively, it's a good idea to consult with a veterinarian to rule out any medical issues that could be contributing to their stress. 8. Whining or whimpering. Whining or whimpering is a clear sign that your dog is feeling distressed. Dogs whine when they're anxious, scared, or in pain. If your dog whines when you're around, it's important to assess the situation to determine what might be causing their discomfort. Whining can be a sign that your dog is seeking comfort or reassurance, especially if they whine when you leave or enter a room. They may be feeling anxious about being alone or unsure about your presence. Offering gentle reassurance and spending time bonding with your dog can help ease their anxiety. 9. Loss of appetite. One of the most concerning signs that your dog is afraid or anxious around you is a sudden loss of appetite. Dogs, like humans, can experience a range of emotional responses that impact their physical health, including their eating habits. If your dog usually has a healthy appetite but suddenly seems uninterested in their meals, it's important to take note. Dogs may refuse food or eat less when they are feeling stressed or scared. This is particularly noticeable if the change in appetite occurs when you are around or after a specific interaction with you. The refusal to eat is often a sign that something in their environment is causing distress, and their body's natural response is to shut down non-essential functions, like digestion. Fear and anxiety trigger the body's fight or flight response, which floods the system with stress hormones like adrenaline. These hormones can suppress appetite as the body diverts energy to coping with the perceived threat. If your dog feels threatened by you, even unintentionally, their refusal to eat could be their way of expressing that discomfort. Loss of appetite could also be due to fear related to specific actions associated with mealtimes. For example, if your dog was punished near their food bowl in the past or associates feeding times with a loud noise or a negative experience, they might develop an aversion to eating in your presence. This can lead to a cycle of stress, where the very sight of you during feeding times triggers fear responses. It's important to note that a loss of appetite can also be a symptom of other health issues, so consulting a veterinarian is always recommended if your dog stops eating. However, if the problem seems to occur primarily around you, or during certain interactions, it may be worth considering whether your dog's anxiety or fear is playing a role. 10. Ears pinned back. Dogs use their ears as one of their primary ways of communicating their emotions. If you notice your dog's ears are pinned back against their head when they are around you, this is a strong indicator that they are feeling fearful or submissive. Pinned back ears are a sign that your dog is trying to appear smaller or less threatening, which is a typical response when they feel scared. Each dog has a unique ear shape and size, but the positioning of the ears is consistent across breeds when it comes to expressing fear. When a dog's ears are flat against their head, they are likely in a state of discomfort or fear, especially if this is accompanied by other signs, such as a lowered body posture or a tucked tail. The reason for this behavior lies in the dog's natural instincts. In the wild, when a dog or wolf encounters a more dominant or threatening animal, they will pin their ears back as a signal of submission, trying to communicate that they are not a threat. It's an attempt to de-escalate a situation and avoid confrontation. If your dog is displaying this behavior around you, it's crucial to assess your actions. Are you speaking too loudly? Are you making sudden movements that could be intimidating to your dog? Sometimes, even routine actions like standing up too quickly or raising your voice can be enough to trigger a fearful response in a sensitive dog. 11. Tail tucked between legs. A dog's tail is one of the most expressive parts of their body, and it's often the first thing people notice when gauging a dog's mood. A wagging tail usually signals happiness or excitement, but a tail tucked between the legs is a sign of fear, submission, or extreme discomfort. If your dog consistently tucks their tail when they see you, it's a clear sign that they are afraid. The tail tuck is a defensive posture that dogs use to protect themselves. When a dog tucks their tail tightly between their legs, they are attempting to shield their vulnerable areas, such as the genitals and stomach. This behavior is deeply rooted in their survival instincts, as these are the areas an attacker might target. If your dog's tail is tucked whenever you approach, it could be a sign that they associate you with something negative or frightening. This might have been caused by past trauma, harsh discipline, or simply being startled by something you did unintentionally. Dogs remember negative experiences, and it can take time for them to overcome those fears. 12. Excessive barking or growling at you. While some dogs naturally bark or growl as part of their communication style, excessive barking or growling directed specifically at you is a strong sign that your dog is feeling afraid or threatened. Barking and growling are ways for dogs to vocalize their fear, frustration, or discomfort, and it's essential to recognize when these behaviors are rooted in fear rather than aggression. If your dog growls or barks at you when you approach, it's likely that they are feeling cornered or unsure of your intentions. This doesn't necessarily mean they dislike you, but rather that they are trying to protect themselves from what they perceive as a potential threat. Growling, in particular, is a way for dogs to warn you to back off. It's a signal that they are uncomfortable and want some space. Many dog owners make the mistake of punishing their dog for growling or barking, but this can backfire. Growling is an important form of communication that tells you your dog is uncomfortable before they escalate to more aggressive behaviors like snapping or biting. By punishing growling, you may inadvertently teach your dog not to give you that warning, which can make them more likely to resort to biting when they feel scared in the future.